Well, it is a Saturday afternoon, and I am in the office getting ready for a busy week for our law firm, both in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. My son had a hockey game this morning in North Jersey, and tomorrow we're in Connecticut. So I'm getting in the office, trying to get some work set up for another busy week. With that said, it is the weekend, and I understand that the weekend is often the most busiest time for a lot of attorneys, especially criminal defense lawyers. That's when we make ourselves available on the weekends. I took a client call this morning driving my son to North Jersey. Client called. Unfortunately, they had a DWI last night. But I think they're going to be in good shape based on my review of the case. But these are the things that happen typically on a weekend for our law firm. So I always give my weekend advice because I understand that people often don't know what to do if you're stopped by a police officer. I know it's a stressful situation, and we've all seen recently the Tyreek Hill incident. I know a lot of people. It's a charged incident, both on both sides, whether or not he did the right thing or wrong thing, or whether the police were in the wrong. And I've given my opinion on it. The fact that I do think the police overreached, but at the same time, I think Mr. Hill could have handled it a lot better. He certainly didn't handle it the way I advise clients to handle it. Perhaps he believes because he's a public figure, the rules don't apply to him. But had he handled it a different way, I don't think it would have escalated. Now, I don't, again, the officers didn't act right. I think that once they identified who he was, they shouldn't have taken that type of action. He wasn't a threat to them. But initially, if you are stopped by police officers, you want to give your license registration, follow their commands. Arguing with them is not going to get you anywhere. They're not going to let you win the argument. At the end of the day, you're going to get arrested if that's what they want to do. If it takes one officer, three officers, or five officers, you're going to get arrested. So arguing with them doesn't get you anywhere. Now, that being said, there's a way to be respectful to the officer without surrendering your constitutional rights. I'm talking about your rights against illegal search and seizure. If the officer wants to search the car, regardless of whether or not they say they do or don't need a warrant, don't give consent. Just make it clear you're not giving consent. If they proceed to search the car, let your attorney handle it. Don't get in the officer's way. Don't make an argument with the officer. Don't put your hands on the officer. If you do that, you're just looking at additional charges like resisting arrest, also possibly aggravated assault if the officer's injured. Remember that police officer, like members of the firefighting and the EMS officers, all these individuals are considered a protected class, as they should be. So if you injure them, you're potentially looking at a felony charge when it's something that initially was a non-felony case, like a drunk driving case. Not that that can't be serious, but you're escalating the matter. Giving consent, however, is never advisable. Just be respectful, give your license, registration, and proof of insurance. With regards to answering questions, you're only obligated to give the information. The officer may want to know where you're going, where you've been, what you drank. These, again, are answers you don't have to give. So by giving information, you're simply making the case stronger for the officer. Again, do it in respectful fashion. Officer, I'm just going to give you my license registration, and I'm just going to remain silent. They'll understand that. If they don't and get hostile, again, they're all wearing body cam these days. That's all going to be recorded, and it's actually going to help your case. If you have questions, 215-755-9000 in Pennsylvania, 856-793-7429 in New Jersey, the website gambonelaw.com. With regards to if they find something in the car, like a gun or drugs, you don't need to take ownership of it. If they tell you, well, look, if you just own up to it, I'll go easy on you, quite respectfully to the officer, they don't have that kind of authority. So if a gun or drugs are found, it really becomes out of their hands. You're going to be arrested, you're going to be charged, and from there, either the prosecutor's office, if you're in New Jersey, or the district attorney's office in Pennsylvania, is going to take the case. And then at that point, the case will go through the process. So giving information, again, you're not being difficult, you're just simply exercising the constitutional rights in a professional and respectful manner. There's no need to argue. There's no need to kind of negotiate with the officer. There is no negotiation. You just want to do it in respectful fashion. These are things that can really benefit you. With regards to the chemical test in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, you want to take the chemical test, you do not want to refuse it. I can't tell you how often I have clients who refused the test and thought they were doing the right thing. You're not. Your license will be suspended administratively, regardless of what happens in the criminal case. And the only way around it is to file an appeal in a civil courtroom. And more than likely, that's going to be very, very difficult. So again, if you have questions, 215-755-9000 in Pennsylvania, 856-793-7429 in New Jersey. Have a great weekend. Please enjoy responsibly, and I'll talk to you all very soon.